Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Breadcrumbs this week. Welcome back to the video podcast. Anybody who's watching, welcome back to my windowsill. I love the windowsill. When we moved into this apartment a few months ago, I saw it and I was like, that would be such a cute spot for a video podcast. So here we are in the windowsill. It's happening. My dream's coming true and it's fun. So yes, welcome back with me to the podcast. If you're new here, welcome to Breadcrumbs. I'm Carissa, your host, and I'm excited to be here for another episode with you. So, happy 1 week to the podcast being on video. Hopefully it's done well, and it's been fun to see people watch it and comment on me talking in my windowsill, because that's like, to me, talking on camera, because it's just weird that I've been thinking about this for so long and finally getting it done is a really, really good feeling. So I'm feeling really good about it and I'd love to hear from you. And again, I know it's plain, but let me show you. I have, for those who are watching, for those not watching, I'll just tell you what's going on. But I have this Breadcrumbs cute print that I have of my logo. And I'm excited to eventually hang that here by my head somewhere, but you know, it still has not happened. I'm just so picky about things being hung. Is anyone else like that, where you want your house decorated cute and you have a vision about it, but actually executing it is so daunting because I need it to be perfect or it will bother me. So I will do it. Don't worry. I just have to do it. But yes, Breadcrumbs, we're back. And yes, the video podcast has survived a week. I'm here doing it again. So things are looking good and trying to just get into some sort of routine with it. It's hard. For those who don't really know me, I am a mom of 2 little boys. I have a 4-year-old and an 11-month-old. He's almost 1. Cry. I can't believe it. And I love them deeply, but young motherhood is, what are the words? Young motherhood is a very busy and exhausting time of life and very hard to make time for things like this. So it is something that I'm trying to prioritize. I'm grateful for my husband for watching the boys and kind of taking over the fort while I do this and edit and do all this stuff. So thank you for bearing with me in this little journey. It's really fun. And again, something I feel that I'm supposed to do. So here I am. Let's do it. A little update. Okay. Sometimes I like to give some little updates just because it's fun. And I don't live by a lot of any people that I grew up with or my immediate family. I do live by my in-laws, which is such a blessing, but I just like to update people in case they're like, what's Carissa doing these days? Here you go. So a little update is my son Archie, who's 4. He just had his hip hop recital, you guys. He has been taking a hip hop class and it is so darling, so cute. Oh no, not the blinds wiggling again. These blinds. Hopefully they don't bother you as much as they bother me. He's been taking little hip hop classes for the past, since February, however many months that is. And it's been so cute. He's always been our little dancer, but with almost like rave songs, like if you know Freaks by Timmy Trumpet, he loves that song. He loves Sandstorm by Darude. He loves, oh my gosh, this is a different language. Dragostea. What is that song? By Ozone, I think it is. It's like, Maya he, Maya ha, Maya ha, Maya ha. That song, he loves that song and it's such a bop. Anyways, songs that just make you want to get up and jump around. Those are his vibe. So we just thought, okay, I will not say Austin thought because he was like my son in dance class. But I was like, come on, he likes hip hop. So he would love hip hop. So it was my idea. I was like, he would love to just try a hip hop class. And we tried it and he really liked it. And we stuck it out till his recital, which was yesterday. So he just had his little recital and it was darling. He was so cute in his sparkly little, almost like 80s vibes tracksuit. It was so cute. This neon green. Loved it. And he did it to pump up the jam. Yes. So that was really fun. And it's just crazy because my like most vivid home videos, some of them are me at like 3 years old in dance class, like my dance recital. And so seeing my son was very crazy to see like my own kid is now doing that. But yeah, we're done with hip hop now. He wants to try some sports. Let's hop into our breadcrumbs real quick today because I've got some thoughts popping around and some things that have happened. This actually happened a couple weeks ago, and it was one of those things that was like, that's the message that I need to share. So my first question is, how often are we mopping the floors these days? How often are you mopping? I'm genuinely curious because for whatever reason, especially ever since I moved into a house in Carson City before this apartment, and there were so many wood floors, I was like obsessed, maybe not obsessed. I was very aware of how dirty my floors got, and I wanted them to be mopped often. I think I mopped once a week for a while. That didn't stick, unfortunately, but I was pretty good about being like, Wednesday is my mop day. This is my day that I mop the floors. I just loved the feeling of the floor. It was so shiny. And so now I'm in this apartment that has like, is it linoleum? I am still like, I need this floor mopped, especially Dutch, my almost 1-year-old, is crawling everywhere and his feet are filthy black at the end of the day. Like our floor is just so dirty. And it's just hard. I'm like, how often are people actually mopping? Because it bothers me so bad to not have my floor mopped. So I'm like, is this normal to want my floors mopped so bad? I'm just very curious is all how often people are mopping. Anyways, this has a point, I promise. You're probably like, this girl cannot get to the point. I can get to the point. The point is, that is where my breadcrumbs comes from today, is mopping. Okay. This is where I saw Jesus, okay, and I saw a deeper meaning to something that seemed very meaningless. There was a night I was getting ready to mop the floor. I had quite a day of, I don't know, it was one of those days when I just really was in a cleaning frenzy. Like, I was like, I am not waking up to a messy house tomorrow. I refuse to wake up. So I put on my headphones and listen to my sad songs that motivate me for some reason, because I'm such a gloomy girl. You know what I'm saying. And I just went to town. The kitchen's sparkling. I'm on the floor, okay, before I mop. I've swept because I have my baby who, of course, chucks things off of his high chair onto the ground all the time. Bananas, fruit, random beans, like random stuff. He's always chucking on the ground, okay? And I'm on the floor with this scraper thing that you use for dishes because stuff is just stuck. Like, okay, let's be real. I'm not scraping the floor every day. It's not going to happen. So things get stuck on there. And so I'm scraping off like old banana off the ground, and it's like stuck on there. Like I need the scrapey thing. And I'm going to like scrape something, and I realize it's my floor. The chairs that are at my kitchen table, the legs, some of them have dug into my floor and kind of like bumped it up a little bit. It looks like from afar, it looked like something was stuck on there, like food. So I'm like scraping it, and I realize it's almost like a half moon pulled up of my floor where my chair had dug in. Someone maybe leaned back in it, and I'm on the ground scraping things, and I'm finding like 3 or 4 spots of this that I thought was just food stuck on the ground, but it turns out when I got really close, it was actually something else. And seriously, I'm scraping the ground and I was like, this is a breadcrumbs message. Like, I'm learning from these crumbs on the ground. I'm learning from this floor getting pulled up, which should probably fix that. Many a time. Okay, and you're like, how does this connect? Okay. I was just thinking, all this time I've looked at those and I've thought that was just some food on the ground, and I was wrong because I wasn't looking very closely. And I think that is so true for way more things in this life than just the floor of the dining room. Many, many a times, things are not what they seem. Whether that be a person is not what they seem when we first see them, whether that be a situation is not what it seems, whether that be something someone said is not what it seems. A city is not what it seems until you live in it. There's so many situations that apply here. And I wanted to focus today on maybe people. You can interpret this how you feel like it applies to you. At a glance, you just can't know the story of anything. You can't just look at a book and know what it's about. You can't. You can't look at the cover and know all the details of everything. And I think that so applies to people. I think we just, human nature, are so quick to just make a judgment on a glance at somebody or one conversation. And it's natural for us as human beings. And for me, it's one of the most frustrating parts of being human, because it is so natural to just judge. Let me clarify that, of course, there are things you should judge about. Like if you feel like someone's not safe to be around, or you have like icky feelings about someone following you, or someone's sus at a park or something, obviously you follow your gut. But this is just generally just us making judgments off of people that maybe are not called for, which is a lot of the time. It's the truth. At a glance, for example, I have a neighbor here. I don't really know him that well, okay? But at a glance, he's just some guy that always wears pink golf shirts. And he's always on the phone, and he's just walking by all the time. And I'm like, what's his story? Like, what's his deal? Why is he always walking by? Well, let me clarify. We live on a corner apartment, so a lot of people pass by us to get to the parking lot. And he passes by like 10 times a day, probably, maybe more. I don't know what he does. I don't know why he's home all day. And yeah, he's always wearing these pink golf shirts, okay? And so at a glance, you might be like, make some kind of judgment. He has been so kind. Like, multiple times now, if me and Archie, my 4-year-old, are outside, he'll come bring him like those Nutella mini containers that have like the little sticks you can dip in. And he'll be like, do you like these? And he'll always ask me permission if he could give it to him. He helped me and Austin move our couch into our house. And just like, I'm like, this is such a sweet man. I don't know anything about him, but he's so nice. So at a glance, I just couldn't know that he's so nice. The people of Summerlin, here's another example of at a glance. The people of Summerlin, where I live, love to push their dogs in strollers. Okay? I don't know what that is. I am not a dog person. And so I think dogs are animals that can walk on the ground because they're animals. And I just don't understand. Like, I get so excited seeing like somebody or a couple even pushing a stroller. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe they could be my friend. Like, we both have babies. And then I look closer and there's a furry head sticking out and a tongue wagging in the wind. And it is not a baby. It is a dog. And I'm like, maybe not. So it's just very interesting. And for me, that's me judging. Totally. I'll admit it. And at a glance, I'm like, yuck. That's me. I'm like, no. But truly, they probably are good people and they probably have great attributes and we probably would be friends. I don't know anything about them. It's just me at a glance. I'm like, everything's not what it seems, Carissa. Okay, don't judge so hard for that. And then me, young mom. I'm in Target the other day and I just need my kids to be entertained. We had gone there to run some errands, get some birthday stuff for my husband that's coming up. And I was like, I just need my kids to be entertained. My baby ain't sitting in the cart when my 4-year-old is playing with the toys. Like Dutch is at the age that he wants to play with Archie. He wants to play with toys too. He just doesn't want to sit there. So my baby has no socks on or no shoes. He can't walk yet, so I'm not really putting shoes on because they'll just get wrecked. So he's just crawling on the dirty Target ground in the toy aisle. And I don't like germs. I'm not a germaphobe crazy, but when it comes to like playgrounds and the ground and stuff, I'm like, wash your hands. So I didn't love it. He didn't crawl a ton, but he was a little bit crawling on the ground. And as a mom in a store with 2 kids, you just kind of feel crazy sometimes. Like you're kind of like, hey, stop it. Or you're like grabbing your baby and shoving snacks in their faces, and Archie might run around the corner and I'm like, Archie, I'm like freaking out. So I'm just maybe looking like a little bit of a crazy lady, and I'm sure people glanced at me and they were like, what is her deal? And you know what? It's okay. When I live in that situation, it's like I hope people give me some grace and understand that is not all me. Like, this is such a stage of life where some days I'm like, who even am I? Like, who am I? This is not me, So I hope that people don't make a judgment on me based on one encounter, one situation. And so it's only fair that I give people also the benefit of the doubt. Then there's Jesus Christ, who it's said in the scriptures at a glance was not a man of any, I don't know the exact quote, but he wasn't of any special kind of appearance, not pleasing to the eye or something like that. Like, he wasn't a super attractive man, like someone you'd probably glance at and not think much of. That's how he's described. But man, what he is to us. What he is to us, and at a glance we wouldn't know that. And I just think of how important it is to not only assume things are what they are by just a quick glance, a quick encounter, because if that's the case, we're missing out on so much, specifically with Jesus Christ. If we just glance at a picture of him, or we just glance at the Book of Mormon or the Bible and we just think, not for me. You didn't give it any chance. You don't know. You have no idea unless you try to get to know Christ. Try to do the things that he did through his example and see what happens. Try to keep the commandments and see if the blessings that are promised to us, if we do, come. It's a trial of our faith. And just like me, kneeling on the ground, scraping mystery stuff off the ground and seeing that's not what I thought it was. That's the case with a lot. The Friend magazine is another place that this message kind of came to me. I was looking through the Friend magazine with my 4-year-old. It's like a magazine for kids through the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, if you don't know what that is. And they have these search and find activities where it's like a picture of something and there's hidden objects in the picture that you have to find. And I loved those growing up. Archie now loves those, and it's really fun. But it was interesting because you look at the picture and you don't really see anything off the bat. It just looks like a picture if you're just skimming through at a glance, if you will. But yeah, you look closer and you're like, wow, there's a banana in that girl's hair, or there's a toothbrush under his shoe or whatever you're trying to find. And it's just another example of like, you have to look deeper before you know what's going on. I've lightly touched on this before, but when you see somebody just out and about in the world, you're on a walk, you pass by them, you're at the store, you're at a stoplight and you're next to each other, whatever. It is so unfair to judge somebody off of that one encounter, because that is literally just a screenshot of what that day, what their life has equaled to this moment. That is just a moment. It's like me a little bit crazy in the store. That's not Carissa. That is just an exhausted mom. That's the moment. That's not who I am. And so if I'm judging somebody off of, maybe somebody yells at the cashier at the store and I'm like, oh, what a rude person. Maybe, but maybe they have had a terrible day with their teenager and they're at their wits' end and they just need to return this item that they've been waiting to return for months, and they finally did it, and their card is not working or something. I don't know. I just have been feeling like we cannot judge someone off of one moment that we see. We just don't know the deeper inside stuff. Jesus Christ truly is the master at this. He is the master at seeing the deepest, because he experienced every single thing that we experience. Somehow, Jesus Christ knows what it's like to feel crazy in Target with your 2 kids and so exhausted, and there's so much going on, and there's difficult things you're facing, and people that see you out there, they just don't know everything going on inside, but he does. And I think that's why it's so important to make sure that we internalize that Jesus Christ knows what no one else knows. And that's why we need to be so close to him, because he understands us so deeply. He is such a master at this art of loving us where we are. This is not a quote, but it's like a phrase that he will meet you where you are, but he doesn't want you to stay where you are. And I love that so much. Like, we don't have to be perfect to come to Jesus Christ. He does not expect that. All he wants us to do is come. That's what he wants us to do. He does see things for what they are. He does. He sees what you're going through, and yet he still wants you to come. He sees those little hidden things, like in the Friend magazine, the little hidden things that we're hiding away because they're embarrassing or they're hard to deal with or we don't understand or we just don't want to talk about. He sees those things that we're trying to push away, so we have that perfect picture of ourselves that we try and put together when we're out in public, right? That we got it all together. That's our perfect picture you see at a glance. But there's a lot going on inside. Those little hidden objects, like in the Friend activity, that only Jesus Christ might see. I think it's just very important that we remember that we are loved, and we also remember that that person over there is also loved. That person behind the screen who comments on your stuff is loved. Our neighbors are loved. Those people pushing dogs in their strollers are loved. I just believe it's very important that we remember there are deeper roots to things that are happening, and we do not see everything. Even though we think we know and we're so smart and we're so socially aware, there's a lot we just don't know. And so I think it's important to be open to conversations with people, talking to people out and about. I need to be better at that. A lot of times I'm ducking my head. I'm just trying to get what I need to get and get out of there, especially if I have my kids with me. But I think it's important that we connect, because that is the point. Connection. Without connection in this life, it is lonely and it is depressing. And if we just think the worst of everybody, that sucks. So I love Jesus. I love that he came here to earth himself to live a life so that we will know what we need to do and how we need to live and what we need to live up to one day. And I'm grateful for his grace that we do what we can, the best that we can, and he will make up the difference for all those flaws that he knows that we have, that we try to hide, but he knows about. And that he will love us even when we fall and lift us back up. So I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Go follow my Breadcrumbs podcast Instagram page where I'll post snippets of this video. Also follow my YouTube, which is the Breadcrumbs podcast. And let me know how you're doing. Let me know if this episode touched you in any way. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.